Hey folks, Alex Newman with The New American. We are here with Randy Pinocci. He is one of the speakers here at the Red Pill Expo. He's also a Montana Public Service Commissioner who kind of helps regulate the utilities and other things in Montana. Commissioner, thank you very much for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Awesome.
JEKYLL Island.
That's right. It's a great place to have a Red Pill Expo, huh?
Absolutely.
Randy, tell us a little bit about, there was an issue now that came up with smart meters in Montana, and it sounds like there's some really, from my view at least, encouraging and positive news coming out on this front. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
Well, I chaired a committee hearing on smart meters at the Montana Public Service Commission, and we're starting to get testimony of why we should have the option to want a smart meter or not want a smart meter. Some of the testimony in the hearing was very interesting. I had people say I had an operation where metal was installed somewhere in my body, and they're claiming that the doctor says the signal from a smart meter can cause disruptions in your body if you have metal in it. So the doctor is in Montana is telling their patients to avoid a smart meter. Well, I've talked to some legislators. They're going to introduce a bill that's going to give them an opt-out. If you want a smart meter, fine. If you don't, that's fine. Now, in an event like Red Pill, it's very popular to say you're against smart meters, but I think it's important to talk about why you want a smart meter.
So why would you want a smart meter?
Well, let's say we had solar panels on our home, and we know that in some of the big cities, when it gets 4 o'clock, the electric rates go up. And they'll stay up until about 7 p.m., right? It's different with each city you might live in. Well, if you're producing electricity with a solar panel, you should get more money if you produce electricity between, say, 4 and 7 p.m. But the only way you can prove that is if you have a smart meter. So for the rooftop solar people who are being charged more for that period of time, the way you could get credit is to have a smart meter to prove, hey, I generated electricity at that time. Another thing you'd start doing is this. Between 4 and 7, you might have all the lights off, and when you go to put your dishes in the dishwasher, you'll hit 6-hour delay, so your dishes start in the middle of the night, where the electricity is cheap. And let's talk about this idea. What if you had a Tesla electric car and you fully charged it at work and you drive home and you get home at about 5:30 and you decharge the car to go on the grid? Would you then get more money for the electricity in your car? Then tell your car to charge up at midnight when the electricity is cheap. Could you make $10 every time you did that? Well, at the end of a year, 365 days times 10 would add up to some serious money. But you need the smart meter to do that. So I believe that people need the choice. If you want a smart meter and need it and see some good from it, then get it. If you don't want a smart meter, then you're able to opt out. So I think that's what we're going to see in Montana. And I believe this legislation will be voted on by February next year. So I think by the next Red Pill, let's find out what happened.
Excellent. And last time we spoke, Randy, the 5G was kind of at the top of everybody's radar. What's the status on that in Montana? Any news on that?
Oh, here's some news for you. When I returned from the Red Pill in Mesquite, the press went crazy. They said Pinocci was down at that Red Pill event with those crazy radicals, and he wore his name badge, and he can't do that. And they ordered a full investigation at my office. They seized my computer.
Oh my goodness.
And they went through all the records on my credit cards use at the Public Service Commission, demanding that they wanted to know what resources I used from the state to go to Red Pill. Folks, they didn't find anything. I used all my own money, and I could have used the state's money to come to Red Pill because I was learning about the dangers of 5G. It would have been completely proper for me to use my credit card at the Public Service Commission office to go to Red Pill to learn about safety concerns with 5G. But I'll let everybody know, not only did I spend my own money, I invited fellow commissioners to come with me. One of the commissioners said something like this, Randy, you get down there and find out what's going on and get back with us. When I got back, I was in the middle of a full-blown investigation. So here's what I'm requesting. I'm asking who ordered the investigation, and because they found nothing, they should pay the bill. My staff is going to have hours and hours and hours of staff time to get these answers. Right now, you know who pays that? The ratepayers of Montana. And who should be paying for it is who requested that investigation that turned up nothing. And I'm demanding that happens. And they won't tell me who requested the investigation. And how come I don't have the right to know? So I just thought you guys would find that interesting.
Fascinating. Well, hopefully the truth will eventually come out. Commissioner, anything else we didn't ask you about that's on your mind that you want to mention or talk about?
Well, I still want to stick to 5G on if the safety concerns aren't met, that I'm not going to support it. We had a hearing called ETIC at the Montana State Capitol. All of this is recorded. And I asked some pretty hard questions to ETIC about 5G. And the chairman of ETIC was Derek Skis from Kalispell. And I got to give credit to Derek Skis, incredible work. After I did the questions, I'm thinking the committee's going to think, you know, maybe I'm that crazy radical guy. That is not what happened at all. There were people in the committee that have heard about the safety concerns, and they're taking something serious. But here's what my friend Derek Skis said. I call him my friend because when I was in the legislature, I worked very close with him. Now he's in the legislature, I work with him. But Derek said this, in the committee hearing, liability insurance on 4G costs a certain amount of money, but liability on 5G is 3 times higher. Why? I've never heard that argument or point of view. And boy, we've got something new to look at because that is a great question.
That is a good question. We'll have to see what the insurance companies know. Commissioner, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for all you're doing for the people of Montana, and hopefully we'll chat with you again very soon.
Well, great to be here, and it was great to follow up over Mesquite, Nevada, and what happened and transpired since then.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Commissioner.